Hello and welcome back. I hope you had a good week. Yes, across the pond and back again. We are here for your entertainment. My week to run the show, let's call it that, run the show. So, my topics, whether she likes them or not. Okay, oh, she's being quiet,
I'm just going with the flow.
going with the flow. All right. Here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about differences between the UK and America. All right. And,
Uh
and
huh.
the subject I have, though, is TV. Okay. How, I'm trying to think of the way I want to word this. Basically, how many people, if you can kind of guess, I guess, do regular TV over there, for one.
Can you reword the question? Sorry.
All right, let's put it like this. Over here in America, we have what we call cable, and
Yeah.
and of course, we have the channels. Now, what kind of cable do you guys have over there
Oh,
in the
so
UK?
service providers. Yeah. So different service providers will offer different things. Obviously, the first couple that come to mind are Virgin Media and Sky. Now, it depends who you prefer. But Virgin and Sky are they're always at each other's throats. They offer different packages, whether they include a telephone service or TV and internet, shit like that. But
Okay.
then you've got other ones. What we used to call Freeview is basically where you just pay for the TV license and you don't have to pay for anything else. You get just the bog standard channels. If you're not really too bothered about all the bells and whistles and a billion channels and stuff like that, there's some decent stuff on it. Or better yet, there's a slightly more modern version to it. I forget its name. Could be Free V or something like that. And there are other ones that are similar to this, and you can
Okay.
get them through the Fire
Um,
Stick. You know?
I've heard of Sky.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, I've seen some clips from the Skynet. Now, no matter where you are in the UK, you can pick either one, correct?
Um, it depends. Not exactly. Not every single area would be eligible for one or the other. It's not always a case of you can have either one, like one or the other, because some areas just aren't eligible, whether it because, sorry, whether it be because the building where you live can't have wires or satellite or something like that, or maybe the grounds around it. Maybe it's something to do with coverage. It's a little bit tricky sometimes. Um, but given that you are eligible for one or the other, you've got those two. They're like the main ones. I think there are some more, but I don't really know what they're called. But I'll tell you what we do. We don't have either of them anymore because we felt they were overcharging for a service that just wasn't. It wasn't good enough anymore. So we do just the internet now because we subscribe to that many things um, over the internet. So TV is sorted. We can just watch whatever we want whenever, and it works a lot better like that. So,
Yeah.
and it's free for the most part. I
Yep.
think probably 80% of our viewing time is actually YouTube. Um, Linear TV, there isn't a place for it in our house anymore. No offense if anybody from the industry manages to hear this, but yeah, it's not good enough anymore. So, all on demand, Netflix, YouTube, occasionally Amazon, and some of the other ones.
Yep. Over here in America, we have like main companies, Comcast, Spectral, and depends on where you live as to who you get. So
Yeah.
I'm in the area where I live. I have Comcast. Now my daughter, who's buying a house where she's going to live, I believe it's Spectral or something like that. It says so. You can't choose. You don't have a choice. It just depends on where you live.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels like it's very locked by the zip code.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And like you were just saying too, a lot of people, me included, will use the internet.
Yeah.
Right? And we have the apps, that's what I call them anyways. And that's why I had asked you last week about Roku. Because Roku is one of the providers that will carry all the apps, like Prime and Disney and YouTube and, Hulu. You just keep going. They'll carry almost whatever app you can find. So
Yeah.
they they're better because they're free. Most of the time they're free. They do have some paid channels, and that's what they call them too, is channels. I call them apps.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know what you mean.
YouTube is an app to me.
Yeah, well, it is really.
You
It
mentioned
started as a site, but
right. You mentioned watching YouTube. What are the main topics that you watch?
it depends. If I'm with the in-laws, they got quite into ghost type of stuff, so in like investigations and paranormal things like that. But I get a bit bored with that. So we kind of meet in the middle, and we end up watching like abandoned buildings, urban exploration, things like that. If it goes down to documentaries, you can picture the scene, can't you? Like some kind of CSI type stuff, or maybe People's Magazine. We've been watching them recently. Some horrific people out there. Um, so yeah, it just depends. Usually, me and Matt, my partner, we'll watch whatever just takes our fancy there and then. You know, um, we've been watching a series called Brassic. That's quintessentially British, 100%. Especially if you're from the north of England. A lot of it is quite relatable and funny. And they've actually just renewed that for a seventh season, so we're looking forward to that coming out. And you can get that through Sky as well. So if I'm on my own, I have quite a number of YouTubers that I catch up with, or maybe just music or whatever. Just whatever I feel. We're all very spontaneous, to be honest. I think it shows through our choice of content we watch as well.
Yeah, definitely. You see somebody for the first time and you like them, you subscribe for a while, and every now and then I'll be going through my list and I'll be deleting people, being like, I haven't watched you in a month, so goodbye.
Another thing I forgot to mention as well, there are quite a lot of cooking channels we watch.
Ooh,
They tend to be British ones, but there are a few American ones here and there.
yeah. Well, that's the thing too. YouTube and a lot of other um, channels, we'll call them, they separate us. There's stuff that you have that we can't watch because we're not in the UK, and there's stuff we have that you can't watch because we're in the UK. Or you're, I'm in
Yeah,
America.
Netflix is the worst for that.
Oh yes, definitely. Thank God for a VPN.
Yeah, I've never used a VPN.
I've used one a couple of times. It takes over for your internet, it takes over for your IP, and it can put you basically anywhere you want in the world. So if there's something I want to watch over in the UK, but I can't because I'm not there, all I gotta do is use the VPN, and the VPN takes over, like I said, my IP, and it throws me to one over in the UK, so it looks like I'm in the UK.
Yeah, yeah, makes
And
sense.
yeah, and then watch away. Curious. You have, I want to, you have an area over there that is like our Florida. And let me explain. There's kind of like a meme out there. And you always hear a man from Florida. There's always something going on down there that at least one person has done weird.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that?
Kind of, but I understand what you mean immediately. Yeah. It's always, oh God, typical Florida. It would only happen in Florida. I understand what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, there are loads of places like that. I think, I don't know, there are so many that come to mind. Some of the outskirt towns of major cities, maybe Liverpool, Manchester, various parts of London, Yorkshire. Heaven forbid, Scotland. Probably 99% of what you're explaining. It's everywhere, man. You know, unless the rent is too high, like in an actual city. Yeah, you're gonna find people like that. You know.
Yeah.
I
I
mean, I once saw a guy walking backwards in slow motion with no clothes on, and that was in like a pretty decent area. So
damn. Well, we just have, people who are cannibals trying to eat people out on the highway.
oh, nice.
We
Sounds a bit
also
like
have,
Daisy.
I know he's not in Florida, but I got to mention this guy. They call him the bug spray guy. What he did was he went into a
This is
Walmart,
really interesting.
he
This
grabbed
is
a
like
can of
America
bug
lore.
spray, and he
Yeah.
started spraying all the food. He wanted
Oh
to make it to where
no.
nobody could eat or they'll get sick. And he recorded it, as a channel, as a post, and he's
Did he
just
get banned?
spraying all the food.
Did he not get banned for doing that? For spraying all the food?
Eventually, he did get caught and arrested.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think he is up on some charges, and there is a chance that he can spend like 15 years in jail. And there's other things too, I guess, that he's done, assault and some other stuff. But
It's really baffling. Like, why would somebody want to make other people suffer?
right?
You know. I mean, fair enough if they did something wrong,
Well, you know what he said in
then
court
you want that.
when,
But
yeah,
innocent people, man.
yeah. You know what he said in court when they asked him why?
Go on.
For views, for his
Because
channel.
fuck off. Oh God.
You're gone again.
He wasn't from Oh, for fuck's sake. I think we should actually record these bits and put them in.
You're not
Ladies and
here.
gents, sometimes Bill can't hear me right now, and it's because the internet is being weird, or maybe Discord, and I edit them out usually. But I'm gonna keep this in just to tell you.
Still not here.
We go through hardship. Can you hear him?
Did you go out?
So I'll join back now. Hello.
Hello, you're back.
Hello, I'm back. Hello. Do you know what I was doing right just then? I'm going to keep it in. I was actually just saying to the viewers, we go through a little bit of hardship, you and I, as the internet does weird things, or Discord, whichever it may be. We can't hear well, you can't hear me for a while. So I have to leave the call and then come back.
That's how dedicated we are.
Yeah.
So what do
So
you
yeah, for
think?
views, eh?
Yeah.
I think it was probably just a dick, really. Better off in, I would say jail, but taxpayers pay for that. So no, better off, I don't know,
Making him eat the food.
maybe. But then we're as bad as him. Maybe expose him to a lot of horrible stuff educationally, and get a psychologist involved as well, just to guide it and make it legal. And then just like see if he can learn, see if he can be better, you know.
Yeah.
And after like I don't know, maybe like 15 years, 20 years, See if we can get along in society, monitored. I don't know whether that would work.
Right.
If not, just fucking shoot him or something. No, I'm joking.
See, that's where we're different too.
Yeah.
Over here, it's like automatic jail. It doesn't matter
Mhm.
about the taxpayers or whatever.
Uh,
And not even to turn around and say, let's get them some help. It's always jail.
What else have you got for me?
What else do I have for you? I'm actually nearing the end of my list, but don't worry, we can still have some talk here. What are your best searches on YouTube?
My best searches on YouTube. When I was about, I don't know, I want to say like 14. I could have been even younger. I was graced. Me, my eyes, my ears, my mind. I was graced by, excuse me, something called Bar. And it was nothing short of psychedelic and quite possibly made by somebody who was even on, don't know, acid or some kind of bizarre drug. Starts off with like a sheep or a lamb, whatever. And it's like sort of like running through a field. The camera is constantly staying with the animal. And there's a bit of music going on, and it gets weirder as the video goes on. Different shapes coming out of
Oh,
the animal, and then the animal is the animal. Yeah. So if you've seen that, legend, you're an OG. But yeah, I can't put it on for copyright reasons, but
right.
yeah, that was interesting. Oh, there was another one as well. Um, I think it was called Go Into the Store. It was like a mannequin who does like a funny walk on the way to the store. Just random, really. I mean, that was fucking hell. My teens for the most part. Me and my friend, we used to share all kinds of crap together. Yeah.
Well, mine. I saw this video, which was pretty cool. There's a website, and there's a Wikipedia, I think it is, where people write down different SCPs. Have you heard of it? Oh
Yeah,
man,
we had a school friend, and we said for quite a while, just jokingly, that he was an SCP. He didn't know what it meant. He got really offended. I think it was his forehead. It was like the shape of it. It fit the bill.
yeah. I tell you though, when I first got into those, it was awesome, and I mean, I just went nuts. I had maybe 5 channels on my list from SCPs. I downloaded the 2 games that are out there on Steam. All kinds of stuff. In fact, I think it's SCP-6000. It's the whole state of
Get down, he's got a probe. Sorry, carry on.
it's the whole state of Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was proud of that. All right, we're still whoops, we're still doing YouTube. We're gonna stay with YouTube. Um, what do you think about VTubers?
I don't watch any myself, but a lot of people find it interesting. So that's that. Not hurting anybody. So cool. Yeah. But like, I wouldn't do it myself. I considered it briefly, not long before we did this podcast. But I
Oh,
just
cool.
realised like it's not really how to word it. It's not something I'd want to do really. But like like I say, I don't really have anything against them or anything.
It's not your niche.
Yeah, it's it took me a long time to not understand anime, but to like really find it interesting. At this point, I'm 26, going on 27. I've watched a few. I don't I don't sit and think like, oh, I'll watch an anime. I'm not really like that. But I can tell you some really good ones, obviously, because I've seen some. But uh, I'm struggling to get to the point. But, yeah, I don't hate it or anything like that, but it's just not something I would do.
So
I appreciate the creativity of it, though.
yeah, yeah, me too. I, with the VTubers, most of them are female, anyways, and
Yeah, yeah.
they're always very provocative.
I have things against that, to be honest, but we'll get onto that another time, I think.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, and then because I was gonna go into not a rant, but just a speech. So yeah, let's save it for another time.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can get into it. We've got like 20 minutes left. You can go on if you want.
We do not have 20 minutes left. I know there were a bunch of spaces. No, what I was going to say, there it's very provocative, but it's anime. It's from overseas, Japan, and myself personally, I believe it is definitely done to attract as many males as they can. I have nothing against it, nothing at all against what they're doing. But it is,
You know what would get the conspiracy theory crazy guys absolutely um, bewildered is if I said, um, do you know? I don't know whether I should say it. I should disclaim that I do not believe in this following statement.
okay.
But it has been known that certain things on the internet, different things that trend, different genres, people, actions, you get the gist, yeah? It's all part of this, should we say, a bigger plan, this ulterior motive, this hidden agenda.
A grand scheme.
Yeah, and are you familiar with the Roman saying of give them bread and circuses?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Keep-
you know, it gets you thinking. It gets the cogs moving. The you know, I don't know, probably not, but it's just interesting. It's a talking point, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
You know, keep them watching that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Get them
Keep
picking up messages.
keep them fed and entertained.
Yeah, and they'll never revolt.
Um,
I mean, they will because we've got this podcast.
All right. You were considering being a VTuber. What kind of avatar would you have?
One that looked like me. I don't know. Like, I went off it really quickly. There were some limitations, software, and then my patience started to go thin because I just didn't like a couple of things, and I just thought, you know, what's the point? I'm not really. I wouldn't be a VTuber. That wasn't what I was thinking. I was thinking of maybe having like a little avatar of me being tracked, or tracking me even. You know, off in the corner there, and yours on the other side. But I was like, no, I can't be bothered. I don't want to do that anymore. But the idea crossed my mind,
Right.
you know.
Now that's a big subject. A lot of people are wondering if an avatar, especially an avatar that looks like a person, or maybe even the person that's using it, is that a VTuber?
So is the question that they're asking more like, do you have to be sort of, you know, making full length videos in that format to then qualify as a VTuber? or could you do a smaller, downscaled version or some connotation of it?
Yeah, like a podcast, you know.
So that would still qualify you as a VTuber then?
I'm asking. Well, see, that's the thing. People ask if I use an
Oh, right.
avatar, okay, and it's out while we're doing the podcast. People could see my avatar, and they could see, basically the movements, talking and stuff like that. Would it be considered a VTuber? Because it's out there.
At the end of the day, all we need to know is that it took for Rosa Parks to stand up on that bus and tell that bitch no. It's not about the colour of your skin. It's not about any of that. It's about respect and mutual respect at that. So if you really want to make that change, just do it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just do it.
But
Absolutely, just do it. Be the change you want to see in the world.
right,
You know?
it's just kind of funny because when I was starting, you know me, I love avatars. I play with them all the time.
I was like kind of joking there, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, too bad you're not joking anymore.
It turned out quite well though, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It did. I loved it. But you know me, with the avatars. I love the avatars. I love playing with them.
I do. Yeah.
And I've always wondered about mine because as you know, at this point in time, I make it look like me, or as close,
Yeah.
you know. But what if I decided to do it a little anime and change it a little bit, or even become a raccoon?
Right.
Is that VTubing?
I guess it would be. I guess you are already because you create videos already, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Like that. So I guess you're already realistically a VTuber. However, I suppose it begs the question: what kind of audience do you want to attract by being a VTuber?
Right.
Not in like a nasty way to question it, but I think that kind of depends. It's a strange open-ended thing, that, isn't it? Because you could answer, oh well, probably, I don't know, male audience that are like between 18 and 25 or maybe more or something like that, because I'm getting this point across and I'm trying to say this and that. But then you could like go completely, different opposite ends of the stick there.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not getting my point across.
No, I understand what you're saying. It depends on the viewer themselves if they're going to be interested in watching a video with an avatar, even though the information that avatar is putting out is what they like, or are they just going to look at the avatar and go, nope?
Maybe if they've already watched other VTubers that are, say, popular, they would then see your videos and think, well, this looks like another VTuber. I may be interested in it because it's ever so slightly different in that the content itself
Yeah.
and not so much the format. You could be like breaking the mold a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
like the other side of the coin.
I need a coffee.
Do you have a coffee?
No, I'm running on empty.
Why?
Fuck. I'm sitting here talking to you. Did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah, nice and peaceful. Of course, there's only me and the wife, so we spent the morning in our living room staring at our brand new entertainment center with a fireplace, and we just turned the fireplace on, not the heater part, just of course the visual part, and we got the tree on the side, with the lights and all that. We're just sitting there having pancakes and coffee, you know. So it was enjoyable because that was basically about it. Then we went into our office and each went on our computer, and there you go.
You didn't talk again for the whole
How about
evening.
you?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Did the usual kind of stuff, really. You know, presents. Had dinner, always a treat, and yeah, it was just like festive and nice and just really nice. Really, really, really nice. Just really nice. 10 times over, really
There
nice.
you go. Yeah.
I stumbled on my words there. It was good. It was very festive and it was very
Yeah,
warming.
we had a good feast too. The
Hmm.
wife loves to cook on holidays, and it's like I said, it's basically just the two of us. But she'll cook a 12-pound turkey, which, God, could last us a month.
I see some of the posts that your wife puts on Facebook related to cooking. You know,
Oh
recipes,
yes,
how-to videos. Some of them look really cool.
they are. Most of I want to say 95% of them come out great. And
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. You should have said 100%.
nope, 95, because I will turn around to her and I
Oh,
will say, "Don't ever make this again."
oh,
And sometimes
oh.
she'll come home from work because she takes it, for her dinner. Sometimes she'll come home.
And she's gonna slam that fucking door.
No. Sometimes she'll come home and she'll say the same thing. I'm never making this again.
That's fair enough. I mean, your honesty is probably key there. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
there's no point disliking something and then being force fed it for, like 40 years and being like, "Oh, that was really nice, honey. Thank you." Secret trip to the bathroom.
Yep.
You follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Definitely.
makes sense.
Or just hum while I open up the lid to the garbage pan and throw it in.
Goodbye.
Yep. I'll see you again. She's a real good cook, and like I said, 95% of them, really come out nice. And when we talk about them, and I'll turn around, and I'll turn around and I'll say, well, this one was okay. So she'll be like, okay, if I have the ingredients and nothing else, I'll make it in a pinch. But then I'll turn around and I'll say, yeah, this is pretty good. And she'll go, okay, that's a keeper, you know.
What's your favourite that she makes?
Corned beef and cabbage with carrots.
Cool.
Always. I love corned beef.
Yeah. Yours is a bit different to ours.
Yes, it is. That's another difference for us.
Maybe we'll have to do a video about that.
Yeah, the process.
Food,
Food.
specifically food.
Yes, food. Food.
Yeah, food.
Because your candy is different, you know. I'm not going to go into it because we want to say
Yeah.
it. Here we
I mean, we're at the end now, but like we can do it another time.
Yeah, but here we are, talking and coming up with other topics, which we're going to, it's like, oh, no, 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 let's save it, let's save it, let's save it.
Can I say something really interesting just before we head off?
Sure.
At the time of recording this podcast, our first ever episode hasn't gone live yet. We've got another 24 hours to go. And it's interesting because the anticipation is getting real. I really want to put it on the big screen. Not that you can see anything because it's just an image in the background, but you get what I'm saying. I really want to
Right.
put it on, let the family hear it and whatnot. However, um, it's like there was a word I was thinking of, and my mind has gone blank. I'm just casually playing with a rubber coaster. I- we don't have any feedback to go off yet
'Cause,
because we haven't seen the response
right,
of the
exactly.
first episode. I'm not expecting there to be a massive one, but it would be really nice if people could comment, you know, positive or negative, whatever. But I think you feel the same, don't you? It would be so good to start interacting with people and engage and
Oh, oh
you
yeah.
know. See what people want to hear.
Yeah, I just recently restarted my channel, and every time I post, I go instantly the next day. I'm on there trying to find out if people said anything, how many people watched, for how long, all the stats.
All the good stuff.
Yeah, and the bad stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
bad
We'll take it all.
the bad stuff can help you make even more good stuff.
It totally can. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it. And I know in private conversations, I think we've said similar things to one another.
Yeah, we definitely have. Okay,
Well,
here we are.
I think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. So, do you want us to do the ending?
It's up to you. Do you want me to do the ending?
Go ahead.
Okay, folks, thank you so much for watching our second ever episode on Across the Pond and Back Again. Don't forget to leave us a like, subscribe, ding dong the notification bell. I did steal that from another YouTuber, I am sorry, but it sounds catchy enough. And leave us a comment, let us know what you thought was good or not so good about the podcast. We'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one.
All right, that sounds good. Bye, everybody.